Welcome back to my curry workshop. Today I'm going to be cooking another of Derbydave's fantastic restaurant collection kits. So today I'm going to be cooking Murgh Kari. For anybody new to the restaurant collection kits, they come in these lovely tubes, and within the tubes you get a number of small pots, each pot corresponding to a stage in a recipe, which make it really easy and simple to make a fantastic tasty dish at home. Without much further ado, let's have a look at the ingredients. Let's start by having a look at the pots that come with the Murgh Kari kit. So the first pot is the marinade for the chicken. The second pot we will use to infuse the oil. The third pot we'll add and stir into the masala. The fourth pot is called Let's Go Nuts, is ground cashews. And finally, there's a finishing off spice which we'll add into the dish at the end. Moving on to the remainder of the ingredients. For the marinade, we'll be adding in 4 tablespoons of natural yogurt, 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of garlic ginger paste. I've made this fresh today, fresh is always best. Adding in 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped coriander, 1 teaspoon of salt, then either 1 teaspoon of mint sauce or 2 tablespoons of fresh mint leaves. I prefer fresh. And finally, the chicken. 1.5 kilogram of chicken pieces, so I've got thighs and drumsticks, or 1 kilogram of boneless chicken pieces. So actually today I've got just over 1 kilogram for my recipe, and 1 chicken breast because my wife doesn't like chicken on the bone. So feel free to mix it up. So that covers off the marinade. Moving on to the gravy or the sauce. So we'll be adding in 4 tablespoons of oil, 1 large or 2 medium onions, thinly sliced, approximately 250 grams, and 400 grams of peeled and diced potatoes. That's 2 large. We'll be adding in some hot water throughout the process to help form the gravy, and we'll be finishing off the dish by garnishing with some more fresh coriander. Okay, that's enough about the ingredients. Let's get cooking. To correspond with the 5 pots in the kit, I've broken the overall recipe down into 5 stages. So let's get underway with stage 1, which we will marinate the chicken and commence the process of boiling the potatoes. So first of all, we'll be going into the bowl with 4 tablespoons of natural yogurt. This is 4. 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. 2 tablespoons of garlic and ginger paste. Next up is 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to go in with the finely chopped coriander and freshly chopped mint leaves. That's 2 tablespoons each. And the star ingredient, the marinade pot. Shake it in. And then we're going to stir all the ingredients together until the marinade's an even colour. That is looking lovely. Let's have a little taste. Oh wow, that is going to be good. Okay, next up the chicken. So I'm now going to add in the chicken. For the chicken breast, I've diced it into bite-sized pieces. In with the thighs first. Stir those around to get them coated. Add in the chicken breast. And finally we'll go in with the drummers. Stir the final 3 in to ensure the chicken's evenly coated. There we go. I'm going to pop it in the fridge for 30 minutes, more if possible, to allow the flavours to infuse. To finish off stage 1, we're going to boil the potatoes. Lightly salted water, in go the 2 large potatoes. Once it's up to a boil, we'll turn it down to a simmer and they will cook until just done and take off the heat. Then later on we'll introduce them to the final dish just towards the end. Put it on. So whilst the potatoes are boiling away, we'll get underway with stage 2. So into the frying pan with 4 tablespoons of oil. 4. And we'll just allow that to come through to a medium heat. The oil is starting to warm through nicely now, so we'll go in with the infused pot. Stir them into the oil. So let's have a look at what we've got in there. We've got a couple of dried red chilies with some cloves, cassia bark, an Indian bay leaf, and cumin seeds. Very nice. We'll just give that a minute to infuse. We should start to hear the seeds crackle. Aromatics have been in there now for about a minute and a half, just starting to crackle. The aromas, beautiful. So it's time to go in with the finely sliced onions. Stir them in, coat with the oil, turn it down to a medium setting, and then we're going to cook the onions until they're brown. So we're going to cook beyond translucent, which is about 5 to 7 minutes, beyond golden brown, which is somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. I'm going to push it to brown, which could be about 20 minutes, potentially 25, depending on the heat of your hob. So I'll see you in about 10 minutes. We'll check the onions. You can have a look at the potatoes. Happy with those, are about 90% done. They're going to go back in at the end for 5 minutes into the gravy, so it'll cook a little bit further. So I'm going to drain them just to stop the cookery process. I mentioned earlier on that it takes about 5 to 7 minutes for onions to soften and become translucent. It's more or less where they've got to now. The onions have now reached 15 minutes, browning off nicely. There's still further to go to get them dark brown. The onions have been cooking for 20 minutes now. You can see we've got some nice brown onions in there. Cook on for another 5 minutes to ensure they are nice and brown. Onions have been cooking now for nearly 25 minutes. You can see they're taking a lovely brown colour. They're great, those. Happy with those. Been marinating now for 30 minutes, so it's 5 minutes before the onions went in. If you want to marinate for longer, do them the night before. Get even more flavour in there. Okay, so into the pan we go. Look at that beautiful meat. Stir the chicken into the pan. Ensure the chicken in contact with the bottom of the pan. Turn the pan back up to high for now because the chicken will drop the temperature of the pan. I'll bring that through to temperature and I'll probably turn it back down to medium, cooked until the chicken goes white, and then we'll move on to stage 3. The aromas coming out of the frying pan are fantastic. Oh, it's going to be a good dish. Been cooking for 3 or 4 minutes now, so I'm going to turn over the chicken. Make sure you do it in a certain order so you know you've turned everything. The tip I've picked up from AJ at Swadesh actually is to carefully shake the pan, and that helps to keep the chicken on the bone. Another 3 or 4 minutes, I'm just going to carefully turn the chicken again, just to check, see how it's getting on cookery wise. That's lovely, you can see where it's been in contact with the bottom of the pan. Look at the drummers, coating the onions. That brings us to the end of stage 2. Moving on to stage 3, this is where we add in the spices from the stir pot. A little taste. Oh, that's very nice. So another tip to avoid burning your spices is to make a paste first with your spice powder. So what we're going to do, into a small bowl, add a little bit of water, cold water, to stir to form a paste. Add more water as needed. What we're looking for is a nice runny paste. So that's the first part of stage 3. Second part of stage 3 is when the oil separates in the pan, at which point we add in the paste and we stir. In goes the paste. Carefully stir in the paste. Okay, at this point I'm happy with the moisture levels. More moisture will come out of the chicken. I'm going to cook on a low heat 20 minutes and we'll add hot water as and when needed. Okay, the chicken's been simmering away now for 15 minutes. Look, pulling out. Very nice. If we turn them over, you're already starting to feel the meat loosening up from the bone. And carefully use a spatula just to move any sauce around, check it's not sticking. Go back on the lid and we'll cook for another 5 minutes. Okay, the chicken's been cooking for 20 minutes now. I'm going to take the lid off. Bubbling away nicely. You see there's plenty of moisture that's come out of the chicken. So I've not added any additional hot water. What should happen in the next stage, the let's go nuts stage. I'm going to make a paste out of the ground cashews and that should thicken the sauce nicely. Let's go on with stage 4. Add the water in small amounts. Give that a good stir. I should add a little more water. There we go. Actually reminds me of ready break. I had that for breakfast in the morning. So we'll now add the cashew slurry to the pan. Scraping it all out, don't want to waste any. And we'll carefully stir it in. A little shake where you can. Move the chicken around. Wow. All starting to thicken with the introduction of the cashew paste. As onions are breaking down, just see if I can show you. Wow. I'm going to cook now for probably about another 15 minutes or until the chicken is fully cooked. Now your potatoes go back in this stage. Now mine are probably 90% cooked. So if I put them in with 15 minutes to go, I think they're just going to disintegrate. So just make a judgment call. If your potatoes are 2/3 cooked, it's probably okay to go in now. I'm going to leave them until about 5 minutes to go and then just allow the gravy to warm them through for this next 15 minutes. I'm going to cook with the lid off just to start evaporating out, and also thickening up the sauce. Okay, the chicken's been cooking for about another 10 minutes now. I'm just going to carefully deglaze by scraping the bottom of the pan. See that lovely sauce? Just in case anything's sticking. Thickening up nicely. Pan up to the camera. Oh, it's looking delightful. What I want to do now is just double check that the chicken is cooked. Pick out a drummer. See the skins come away. What should happen? The meat should just fall away from the bone. It's nice and white. Just going to remove that from the bone, bring it to the camera. And I think I'm going to have a taste. Oh, wow. Dave, wow. Okay, the chicken's cooked. Add back in the potatoes into the sauce. I'm just going to add a splash more water. Doesn't need much. A shake. So we're at the finishing stage, stage 5. This is where Dave's finished me off. Spice blend comes in. Sprinkle in. See if we can carefully fold it into the gravy. Not disturbing the chicken too much. Great stuff. So, lid on. Heat through for 5 minutes. Your potatoes may have been in longer. Okay, so let's have one final look at the dish. Wow, that looks great. I love a piece of chicken. It's a piece of thigh. Let's look at that. Pull out a drummer. Okay, so let's serve. So as this is such a big pan of food, I'm going to rummage around my drawers and pull out the biggest serving bowl I have. So I'm going to start by carefully transferring out the chicken. Piece of thigh, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so what I'm going to do with the rest, I'm just going to carefully pour it on. So in we go. Get all over the chicken. The bowl of shake, that is a big bowl of food. Garnish with freshly chopped coriander. And personal preference, to drizzle a little yogurt around the dish. And there you have it. One Derbydave restaurant collection, Murgh Kari, cooked to perfection, looking gorgeous, and I cannot wait to get stuck in. Time for a taste test. Oh, look at that. Falls apart. Just beautiful. Another fantastic restaurant kit from Derbydave. The flavours are just out of this world. Look at that, falling apart. Wow. You get a piece of potato, some of the caramelised onions. I'm going to get my fingers in there, can't resist. Grab a drummer, look at that. That is just finger licking good. What I really like about the restaurant kits, you can't really go out and buy food like this. Might be the odd family Indian restaurant somewhere, cooking authentic dishes from scratch, but this is top notch. Fantastic, you know, Dave is an expert in what he does. Pulls together some fantastic blends, and if you've got a few skills, that's all I have, you can make lovely dishes at home, far better than you get in a normal high street Indian restaurant. So if you like my video today, I'd like you to do two things. Go online and order some of Dave's fantastic restaurant spice kits, and secondly, if you've liked my video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you all soon, thank you, good night.